Hey, welcome back to another episode of Radio 22's Talk 22, the show hosted by me, your boy, Mr. to the Jizzle. We be coming back, bringing you conversations that you want to talk about, and we bring it to you with nothing but the real. We thank for you all for coming back to another episode. Last time we had so much good talk about how we can get that body right and all the fitness tips from our fitness professionals. It was pretty awesome. But we're gonna move on because today is inauguration day. It's a big day for the political climate of our country, and with all the stuff that went on the last 4 years, it's been kind of crazy, especially that final lap. The home stretch was wild, and I think we got so much that we can just dive into and talk about, and I think we're gonna go there with it. So I want to bring to you my heavy hitters that are here in the show today with me. Out of the Madison by way of Atlanta, back through Madison leave area, we got the homie Jarvis again. Jarvis, you say what? Unmute your mic, please, and say what's up.
All right, hello. Yep, I'm Jarvis from Madison originally, moved to Atlanta, now moving back to Madison. I've worked pretty much in all industries, from restaurant to valet to school. Pretty much have experience or learning through all of this interesting political times, especially down in Georgia with everything that was going on there. So yeah, I definitely got some fun comments.
All right. Well, we appreciate you for coming through as well, Jarvis. Out of the Madison area by way of Chicago, we got the homie Bang back to the show. Bang, you say what's up to the people.
Yeah, it was good. I'm Bang. Appreciate you for having me, man. There's a little bit about me. I'm an artist and a promoter. Written Rumble Series 1 will be dropping real soon. I got a new video dropping out called Quarantine. A bunch of new music and videos I'm gonna be dropping this year, so be on the lookout for that.
Man, that's what's up. We appreciate you for coming through. As well to the program, we got the homie BK. BK is on the line. BK, you say what's up to the people, please. Unmute your mic.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BK. By way of Colorado right now, from Madison as well. Out here on some entrepreneurship things I got going on, but I'm also working tech in the tech data space right now. So, but just want to say what's up. I'm very interested in having this conversation. I think it's going to be a good one. Did I lose you there?
We may have lost him. He must have been shocked how interesting this may be.
Oh man, I didn't know did it kick me out?
No, you good. You good. I think MJ's having some technical difficulty, so we'll try and get him to come back, bring him back when we can. So let's get things started. Let's move with the first question. So we got MJ back. Until he gets settled, we're going to move with the first question, and I'm going to pose it to you, Jarvis. Were you at all surprised with the election results? And what I mean by that is, there's a lot of different ways that you can look at it. You could look at it where you're surprised that Biden won over Trump. Were you even surprised that Trump still got, 70 million plus votes? So were you surprised at all with the election results?
Actually, no, I was not surprised. I figured the results were basically a result of the country saying they were tired of what was really going on right now. But I was surprised on how many votes he did get. It kind of showed the true colors of this country by the people who are willing still to support him, knowing what he stands for.
Mm, okay, that's a lot being said right there. Yeah, Bang. I'm gonna go to you with the same question. You know, when we look at it, uh, almost every single state, it came down to within a few votes. You know, came within. Sorry, y'all, my connection's just bad here today. But my question to you is: were you surprised with the election results?
I was not surprised. However, I'm gonna keep it real. I thought Trump was gonna take it again. I really did think that he was gonna take it again. But I was not surprised that Biden won. And one of the main reasons why I'm not surprised Biden won is because the Democrats went super hard this year. They went super hard. They went harder than they went ever before. I mean, the phone calls, and just me personally, they text me like every other day. They called me every other day. I'm talking to these people. I ain't argue with people for like over an hour. We were just going back and forth, like they'll straight up talk to you. And I just kept telling them, like, they kept pushing. Do we got your vote for Biden? Can we count on you to vote for Biden and Kamala Harris? They just keep throwing it at you and throwing it at you. And even though I kept telling them, I don't know who I'm gonna vote for yet, they still tried their best to convince me. So I can just imagine, somebody that's easily persuaded. They just keep throwing it in your face and keep texting you and calling you and asking you, are you going to vote for us, vote for us? They're going to convince a whole lot of people. And
Mm,
like I said, they've been contacting me nonstop for like a good month and a half, before that election. So, no, they went hard and they earned it. And I was not
okay.
surprised.
I want to ask BK, were you surprised with the results of the election?
I actually thought Trump was going to win. To be honest with you, I didn't think Biden. I thought Biden was going to struggle with our demographic. I thought he wasn't going to get the black vote, the black male vote. I had the
Hmm.
black woman vote, the black male vote. I thought he was really going to struggle to get that, and a lot of that comes down to like money and broken promises from the left. I mean, for black men, there ain't been much on the left. So I thought Trump was going to take it home if he continued to keep targeting the black male class. But when it came out that it was close, I was like, that makes sense too, because a lot of us, that didn't like Trump. Like I'm not a fan of Trump as a person. I thought Trump was kind of a horrible person. But yeah, I'm not too surprised. I'm not too surprised it was close, but I actually did think Trump was going to win.
Okay. Um, all right. I want to ask the next question to the panel. I'm gonna go right back to you, BK. Uh, why do you feel like Trump refused to concede the election after the results were put in?
Man, this is America, man. It's legal loopholes, legal loopholes. Trump was like, look, when there's an election that close, man, and you got any type of fraud, there was a way for Trump to remain in office, even though it said he lost. And he was going to push it to the limit of trying to run as much as he could to try to keep himself in office. I don't think that it was 100% decidedly where it's like a 30% one way versus like, it was 50-50. It was 81 side, 21 side. It wasn't like that. It was close to 50-50. And I thought he was going to push it further, to be honest with you.
You may have froze up again. So I'm a slide in here. I appreciate that, BK. I appreciate that. I'm gonna move on to Bang, and I'm gonna ask you the same question. Why do you feel this man refused to concede? Because in the past, it's always been a peaceful transition, right? You've
Yep.
always normally had the former president at the inauguration handing it over to the new president. We even got pictures of Obama and Trump sitting in the chair or whatever in the White House after they had the conversation. You had Michelle Obama meeting up with the old girl. I can't even think of what her name is, Pox. I don't want to say her name. First lady. But this brother decided, like, nah, like, yo, I'm just going to refuse to concede. Why do you feel he did that?
For one, like my man BK say, I do think that ego definitely definitely plays a huge part in that. And then he, when you run with something, you got to run, and so you fall out. So he's running with the election fraud. Now I'm not saying it's true or not true, but he running with the election fraud. So you can't stop. You can't stop ever. He's somewhere right now waiting to tweet. He waiting to be unmuted, so he can continue talking about it. Of course, he gonna keep doing it. And of course, when you got millions of people, that believe in it, he got to keep going with it. He's the leader of it. And like I said, I don't know if it's true or not true. I'm not gonna even really speak on it. But I will say this: that when you feel strongly about something, then you should fight for it. If you feel like there's injustice or you've been treated wrong, you should fight for it until the day that you die. So I don't know if he was just bullshitting. I don't know if or it's just a game for him, or he just wanted a grand exit. But but yeah, it's ego, the fact that he got a following, and I think that he had to do all that for the people that look up to him.
Yeah, so you're basically saying that he had to follow through. This is who I am. This is what I believe. I got to follow all the way through to the end.
Yeah, you got to. You got to.
I hear that. Jarvis, I'm gonna move it over to you. Same question.
I would totally agree with what the guys are saying. I basically, it's like you're dealing with a little child here. He's not going to want to play nice or play fair. He's sitting there, I'm holding my toy, y'all go play elsewhere, let alone, then he's also trying to pull this like mini coup. Like, I'm gonna sit in the office, y'all gonna have to pull me out. Y'all can impeach me, do all this other stuff. I'll pardon myself. Y'all not gonna stop me from running this country. So he's trying to take every way out of this as possible. And as you brought up with the other presidents, we already seen he's not like the other presidents. None of them really want to deal with him. Obama gracefully, sat for a picture, be like, I'm turning over power to you. You won your election, be it fair or square, because we could have justly said he stole the election. That's why he's trying to pull this now, be like, I know the election was stolen because I did it myself. Really? You really want to put yourself on blast right now? So, I mean, it is what it is. The other presidents don't like him. They don't agree with him. It was going to be this way. There was no way this was going to ever be smooth. He either felt he was going to get his 8 years, and I guarantee that if he would have got another 4, he probably wouldn't have relinquished power after that. He would have been like, no, I'm going to be the first to do 12. Y'all going to let me stay in this office. I know how to run this country. I'm going to make America great again. No, man. Come on now.
It is interesting how this election fraud or election interference has kind of come full circle. Because what people were talking about 4 years ago was Russian interference. And, is that what helped Trump? Is that what hurt Hillary? But we never really got to the end of that. And then now the next 4 years happened. And now he's talking about dead people voting and people, he won by 8 p.m. and all them other votes don't count. Is interesting. At the beginning and at the end, we're in a similar place with the voting. And it looks like my man MJ is back, so I'm going to let him take that. We just finished up Trump's refusal to succeed.
Yes.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry about this, y'all. The connection just bad or whatnot. And they, I think the feds, this is too hot of a topic. They don't want us to talk about it. They shut me down.
The same thing. They trying to
keep
it down.
I don't know how many shows, but they don't want me to talk about this one. So it's just too hot of a conversation, I guess. So they keep trying to kill it. But we shall proceed and continue, and that's what we're gonna do. Move forward, like Joe said. Okay, so I want to ask the next question. I'm gonna go to Bang. Uh, what do you think? Uh, what do you think should be expected from all the hate attacks that we saw happen against the country and the DC Capitol building? What do you think should come from that?
What I think should come from the hated attacks?
Yes.
Well, I would think that a lot of people are gonna go to prison and get locked up. I believe they did catch quite a few people that ran up in the Capitol building. Um, I and I also feel like now that Biden is president, that story might kind of die down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be something else. We're gonna go back to the coronavirus and all that. People go kind of, it's not gonna really be a hot topic no more. So yeah, they probably gonna prosecute a bunch of people. It's probably gonna be like under the radar, and we just gonna move on to the next thing.
Okay. Yeah, we did see what happened in that DC Capitol activity, and there was a big rush on the Capitol building. So I'm gonna ask BK, do you think that we should expect more attacks from the hate groups to the country?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, no, okay. Let's be real. When hasn't there been attacks from the hate group? I mean, like it may be maybe on a smaller scale, but literally, as black men, there's always hate attacks coming from these people, and you just have somebody who riled them up. Like the crazy part is Trump will say stuff to get people going, and then turn around and be like, y'all should go home, chill out. Like he's really part of it. And it's and to me it's interesting that so many people are shocked by it. Like these people doing this and doing this. I'm like, you ever get a bunch of white people mad and see what they do? You like you don't want to be nowhere near that shit. Nowhere near it. So I'm not surprised about what happened. I think it's gonna continue. I think you just go see them try to get smarter and wiser and do more things that are bigger and get more exposure. I think that's just what's going to happen right now. So many people are Trump's followers that it's almost like a cult. I get it if you're right wing and you believe in some of the policies that the right wing support, but at some point, you got to be like, this is a terrible person. Period. Like he's a bad person. You cannot have him running the country, regardless of what your beliefs is. He's a bad person. That's how I see it, though.
Okay, Jarvis, I want to ask you: do you think that we should expect more attacks from these different groups on the country?
Well, Trump pretty much introduced them to the country. Said it was okay for them to come to the forefront. Yeah, I don't see why they would stop now. I mean, he's trying to make an initiative that he's going to run again on the next election, and they're already trying to silence him and say that's not going to happen because of what you've done now on Capitol Hill. So I can't see why these followers wouldn't take an initiative to be like, let's go and strike something for him. The question should be more,
right?
What is the police force or military going to do to protect things to make sure it doesn't get as bad as it could have gotten? Because the talk of pipe bombs and all that other stuff near a capital in any state, come on now. This is a guy that was trying to declare war on his own country, all over him losing an election. That's too far out of control.
On that same tip, I'm gonna go right back to you, Jarvis. Okay, I want to ask you, Jarvis, that same tip. What do you think would have happened if the Capitol terrorists would have been successful?
I just look at anything in any other country where they do coups. So you probably would have had, because the plan basically was to get Nancy Pelosi. That's what they had the wrist ties for. They were going to kidnap her. And I think there was another Democrat that they named that they were going to kidnap. So they're probably taking them hostage and to, I don't know, swing whatever they think is going to happen as far as the election to give it back to Trump. That was probably their plan. And I can't see what would still deter them not to do it, because they flat out put it on social media. The government knew, but didn't want to believe and act on it. And then Trump still said, take no charge. Don't let democracy be defeated without a fight.
Yeah.
So you're telling people to do damage because you didn't win. Come on. What is going on?
Okay. BK, want to ask you the same question. When we look at it, it does seem like there was some evil intentions on that whole walk down to the Capitol. And, at first they wanted to call them rioters, but it seemed like it became more than just a riot. It seemed like it was actually a plan there. My question to you is, what do you think would have happened if the Capitol terrorists would have been successful in their plan?
We was about to have what literally back in the day was called the modern day lynching. Nancy Pelosi was going to get tied up, and whoever else they was trying to get, and they was going to get hung, burned, or something. Look, you can't tell me you get a group of angry white people together and there ain't no police and bad shit is not about to happen to who they targeted. They was going to calculate. What else are they storming up in there dressed like cowboys and stuff? And what do you have on his hat? A buffalo hat? Nobody goes break into a federal building with ties to not go in there and do something. They didn't have guns to go in there and hold hostage of the people. They was gonna have a good old lynching. That's what they was gonna have. Like, think about it. Them black people that was out there with them, I was gonna be like, boom. This is really happening. Like, these people, man, there was some people that super, super low class, non-educated, could easily get riled up and get going and do stuff. That's not okay. Prime example, when you had like Black Lives Matter and all that stuff, and they get out there and get going, next thing you know, it's a riot breakout. Somebody's doing something stupid. When white people riot, people die. I mean, like, for real, I'm just being serious. I ain't trying to be funny, but you can look through history. Right? If somebody tied to a tree, they got crosses burning. They got all type of crazy shit going on. They got in there. It was gonna be some real stuff happening, and people can say what they want to. Oh, we just taking over. We holding it a cool. No, y'all was going in there to hurt people, and that's what really was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay. Bang. I'm gonna come to you with that same question, but except I want to bring it to a different way. Let's say you're a Trump supporter, right? And let's say you had the intentions on coming in there and snatching up senators or whatever the situation was. How do you see the ending for yourself by going through there and actually trying to execute that?
The ending result?
Yeah.
Well, if I'm crazy enough to do it, I'm crazy enough to believe that I'm gonna get everything that I want.
Without any consequence?
What'd you say?
Without any consequence?
Yeah.
Without any consequence. Without any consequence. They 100. I 100% guarantee you. I guarantee you, they felt like nothing was gonna happen to them for running in that Capitol. Even the ones that got arrested, they probably was shocked. They just don't. They don't believe shit is gonna happen to them. Hey, you know what I mean? And it really would have been crazy if they were successful. It would have been a damn movie. They probably would have still been in there, had all those people in the Congress all tied up, making demands. They would have been asking for pizza and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? It would have been real crazy, man. They wouldn't have let nobody go until they got what they wanted. And our government would have had to make a decision. Are we about to kill these white people in our capital? Because if they was black, it would have been over with. It would have been a question. You know, they'd have been dead. But you know, now that there's white people, you know, and that's just what it is. You know, I ain't trying to sound a certain type of way, but that's just what it is. And you know, they would have had to make that decision. You know, so it would have been real crazy. You know, if they were successful.
Okay, Bang, I want to ask you something on that same tip. I'm going to ask you, why do you think other activists like the Black Lives Matters protesters were met with much more police force than these Trump supporters during their terrorist run?
It's because black people are mostly in those BLM movements. And that's really the main reason right there. Black people. And whenever a large group of black people are together for any type of event, any type of gathering, police are gonna be there. It don't matter what it is. It could be peaceful. Police are gonna be there. Even the last Juneteenth that we had here in Madison, police were there. They were everywhere. Police cars, they were on foot. They was on goddamn horses. You know what I'm saying? They had dogs. I'm like, you know, are they about to make a bus or what? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is going on? You know, so I don't know why they do that. I mean, I feel like the police are already afraid of us. They scared of us for whatever reason. Even we unarmed, they are afraid of us. And you know, maybe it's just a way for them to, you know, flex their power in front of us and let us know, you know, who's actually boss or whatever, or try to scare us in return because they are afraid. I don't know what it is, but it's just crazy to me that it actually happens like that.
Yeah, I know the homie KRS-One once said in a song that the police ride on horses just to show you that they are still the overseers, is what they said. So, you know, there's some history behind that.
Yeah, I want to throw a quick fact out there right quick. You know, in 1967, 12 Black Panther members stormed the Capitol in California. They were armed with guns. 10 was arrested, and they just went there to talk. It wasn't doing anything crazy. And when you read the articles, it's just they just didn't have their weapons concealed, so they wouldn't even let them speak and arrest them. Now that's a complete difference to just let them come in, you know, move away. Nobody getting arrested. They come and arrest people further. The police didn't stop them. The police, it's just the way that they approach the situation. And here, this was 60, 70 years ago. They approached that completely different than they approached this. I mean, granted, it's the state capital versus the federal capital, but that approach is completely different than how they handled that. Yeah. That's a fact for everybody.
Jarvis, I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked. You know, why is it that groups like Black Lives Matter, when they protest, you know, we seen in the protests that happened in Minnesota area, that they were met with so much more police force. They were also met with as much police force when they had, you know, protests at the Capitol building as well. We even saw the black news anchor from CNN even got taken away by the police there during his newscast even. So, I mean, why do you think when it comes to black people's protests, they get treated much differently?
Well, basically because they just look down on us like we're not a real person. I mean, or even the point that they label Black Lives Matters as terrorists, same with the Black Panthers. No matter what we're doing, be it peaceful or if we're using somewhat of force, it's always considered terrorism. Yet KKK, neo-Nazis, all them other groups Trump supporters. They're just lowly people just trying to voice their opinion, use their First Amendment. They are not considered terrorists until they do go too far. And even still, it's like, you're not really terrorists, just certain individuals. And let's make an excuse, say Antifa is a part of that group. Antifa is a part of the Black Lives Matter movement. And I don't know who Antifa is, don't care. If they are in any of these groups, that has nothing to do with it. The individuals you've seen storm the Capitol, based on what your true definition of terrorism, they are terrorists. KKK, a hate group for all this time, has never been considered a terrorist, are terrorists. But the reason why you don't consider them groups terrorists, because the police are usually part of the KKK. Police being part of those Trump supporters, they let the people in. They didn't just sit back and be like, okay, you guys can only go so far. Open the gates, go through. We don't care. Like, it's ridiculous.
We did see that, matter of fact. We saw where a lot of them, the police officers actually opened the gates and opened the doors and allowed them to come through.
Exactly.
It was kind of a wild scene, that being said. The homie BK, I'm going to ask you that same question. You know, I know you kind of answered it, but why do we feel like they get treated differently?
Man, because our weapons are skin color. Our skin color is a weapon, is what I'm saying. Yeah, and I don't mean that in terms of just like, you know, like the police see us as a threat. I mean that America sees us as a threat. There's gonna come some point where reality is gonna sink in. Blacks built this country. Blacks are probably the most patriotic people in this country. They go to war for this country, come back, don't get anything, get treated like they belong less in this country. They live in the worst conditions in this country. They get treated the worst in this country. They get the worst education system in this country. It's going to open up that one day that a lot of white people benefit from this. And it's really going to shock them. And so as long as they can keep us quiet and not really, and keep the media and the public thinking that we're bad, we're this, we're that, it benefits. As soon as it comes out that blacks are what blacks are to this country, and people have to accept that, our skin color is a weapon. That is bad for everything that white people have established in this country. All the money they've gotten over history, of our sweat, our labor, all that comes out. It changes the narrative moving forward. They no longer have the power that they have to persuade our communities to change, to use our $1.3 trillion for them. They don't have that anymore. Now when we take that away from them, we start building power. Because, you know, like I said, our weapons are skin color. I ain't trying to be funny, but if your daughter white and I fuck her have a baby, your baby black, not white. Our weapons are skin color. That's just really what it is.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, I was really surprised and taken back by even the police presence and how they handled that whole situation. I think if my producer maybe has some of the video cut from what we seen out there, you know, we can cue that up now. I don't know if we're ready. Okay.
Give me a moment on the cut. I don't have that right now.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yep.
Like I said, the feds is making it where this is just such a difficult episode to do. They don't want us to do this one for whatever reason. So okay, so we're gonna move on. Bang, I'm gonna go to you. Do you think that Trump could have won the election if he would have denounced white supremacy?
No, I don't think so. It did look bad on him that he didn't. But if he did, everyone that has a biased opinion about him, that already feel like he's racist and he's a bad person, if Trump did denounce white supremacy and label Antifa and Proud Boys, all them terrorist groups and all that, those people would feel like Trump was just BSing. He's just saying what he needs to say to get our vote, and people just wouldn't believe him. So at the end of the day, to me, it doesn't even matter. A bunch of people say Trump is racist. A bunch of people say he's not racist. I don't care if Trump racist or not. I don't care if Biden is racist or not. I really don't care if our entire government is racist or not. I really don't trust them. Anyway, I don't expect them to understand me. They don't look like me. They ain't come from where I come from. They ain't from the trenches. And if you don't understand me and you don't understand where I came from and you don't understand my lifestyle, then you're not gonna make laws to benefit me, to help me to grow. You don't understand me and you don't give a damn about me. You're gonna help the people that you do understand. You're gonna help the people that can help you. So racist, I mean, who cares? I mean, Trump, I mean, even if Trump wasn't racist, one of the government just wasn't racist at all. If you ain't doing a damn thing for me, it's the same thing. I just don't care. If you're not doing nothing for me, whether you racist or not, guilty of racism, I really don't care.
Okay. Jarvis, do you think, I mean, they asked the man point blank at one of the talks that they had. They asked him point blank, they said, are you ready to denounce all hate and racist groups out there? And he just wouldn't say it. He just wouldn't go there. Do you think he could have won if he would have said it?
No. I mean, point blank, he didn't denounce because he's a member. He's part of that group. His family's part of that group. You can't denounce what you are. And as much as he wants to talk about he's not this and that, it's like, at what point in your life have you really done anything for Black folks? None that I've ever seen. And him not denouncing wouldn't have made a difference for majority of the voters, because his whole platform to get to the point to where he at is like, you're putting people in position of power that don't work for the Black community, aren't about helping the Black community. Your judges, your vice presidents, your attorney general, all these people's positions, and the people who all of a sudden, as he's starting to lose power, start resigning and saying, I don't want a part of him. They don't want to go down with him. It's like, right. This was all set in motion. The second you got into office, you either do the right thing or you go ahead and just do what you want to do, which is what he did. And no one was going to support him after that. Only the hate people were going to support him, because they're like, hey, we got someone in power who thinks like us. Let's see how long we can keep him in power. And we keep tearing these other groups down. But eventually everyone starts waking up and says, hey, enough is enough. This is embarrassing for our country.
Well, I don't want
other countries that.
I don't want to go as far to say that he never did anything for Black people, because I will say, there's a lot of people now pardoned out of prison, including your boy Lil Wayne is now pardoned. Your boy Kodak Black is now pardoned. The owner
I don't know. To me, that feels like those are minor things that works in his favor, because you get Lil Wayne out. He's voting for you. He's telling his fans, if they're Republicans too, vote for you, or try to sway Black folks, let's vote for him. It's a thought process behind what he's doing. You get certain people out just for that, what they can bring to you. Because I don't see.
Go ahead, Bang. What are you saying?
I want to say something about that, because my question would be, what president has done a lot for us? Any of them? Because my thing is, the hood still look the same. The schools still look the same. The playgrounds are still outdated. You know what I'm saying? You got still people are still poor. People are still stuck on government assistance.
True.
They, you know what I'm saying? Still in that trap. That you got women on government assistance. They can't have a black man in their house. You know, so they still surviving off that and child support. It's still the same thing. You know, you ain't got a whole lot of black people in powerful positions. You know, I know we praise Obama and I fucks with Obama, but at the same time, the hoods are still the same. The justice system was still the same. Black people still getting arrested at a high rate. We're still getting targeted. It's still
And then,
racism. So, which president actually did something for? And what
that
is
is a
Biden gonna
That
great
do
question.
for black people? That's gonna be so much more
You know,
exponential. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got to touch on that. Because
Okay,
Well,
BK, chime in, please.
this, okay, and this is why I said earlier, I felt that the black men he would have got votes for the black men. Because if you look at it, the left has really just done the black man dirty over and over and over again. And it's really the black women who they support and they vote and they raise their kids to vote Democrats. However, let's take Trump aside, right? If you look at what we were talking about a second ago, how about starting off like just not caring. If you start off with not caring, you need even ground. The left does not present an equal ground. The right does. So a lot of black men, I feel, were leaning towards the right, not because of Trump, because Trump's an asshole, but literally because it puts you on even ground. It gives you some footing to work off of. The left does not. The left locks us up. The left puts all of these policies in place that actually penalize us more than the right do. So when looking at this, you look at it like, man, okay, we haven't had a president that's done anything for us, really. However, the policies on the right fit black men better than the policies on the left. And that's a real problem that the left will have to figure out. They want to keep us around, they're going to have to.
I still don't see any name a policy that's gonna help poor people that's in the trenches to actually, you know, grow up and make something better for themselves that has greater opportunities.
Right.
What
I
policies are
agree
put in
with you.
place?
But look at the bills that were put in place that didn't pass through that were put in place. The $500 billion or 250 million or something a year for black colleges, $500 billion for black businesses. Those businesses not likely to go in the hood, but if they do go in the hood, they promote a better future for blacks. It's done been what? We had 8 years of Obama, Clinton, yeah, where's any of that building at? None of that happened. At least it was put on the table. It wasn't even put on the table before. Take what Ice Cube was doing. Ice Cube couldn't even get a conversation with the left. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, and that's what I'm saying. It's real hard to talk about it with a lot of people. A lot of people want to hear it. When you talk about things like this, they say, oh, well, you're Trump supporter. I didn't say I support Trump. I don't like Trump. I think Trump's a terrible dude. But if I look at it from the base, and I ain't got to worry about the government and what's just given out there, I know that there's a lot more given from the left that assists people to stay where they at, and on the right,
That's true.
like we're trying to give you something that will get you to grow. That was the difference. That's why I said I think a lot of black men were like, I'm tired of voting people locking us up.
Okay.
The best way
And
to go really is something.
shout out to Breon, one of many, who was supposed to be on the show. We were having some technical difficulties with his line as well. He originally said, no, not this one. He originally said, I think it could have helped his chances, and that's not to say that blacks or the views of the public opinion has much to do with the political outcome. The people who position our world leaders are some of the richest people in the world. I believe denouncing it would have put a band-aid on a damaged community, but not real focus on sustaining solutions. So nah, Trump did what he was supposed to do. Okay. And he said, I'm being funny because he said Lil Wayne and those guys are puppets and they just pushing a narrative. The art of war is real. Okay. But that being said, he didn't have to put pardons toward anybody. You know, I mean,
No, you didn't have to. But like you're saying, though, it's just the thought process. I do good here with this person. they got enough clout to bring some votes my way.
Right, but at the same
That was
time,
his whole thought with that.
they say the homie Tiger King thought he was gonna get released, and it didn't happen. So he didn't grant it to everybody.
I mean,
Right.
he picks and chooses what works best for him.
He's leaving anyways, so
Yeah.
it didn't really matter.
I mean, but
It's a friend.
touching on what you were saying before, with the presidents and their power, we also have to look at things in another way. You only have so much power once you get to the presidency. So
Yeah.
Clinton and Obama both, as
Mhm.
much as we wanted them to do stuff for us, what can they do when you have the whole House against you?
Whoa.
I
Clinton
think that
was
was
able to
key
put
in
in.
this election,
Hold up.
where
Clinton was able to
everybody's
put in
saying,
mass incarceration,
or at least
though.
down in Georgia, they were quoting to say that the Democrats are trying to turn this into a socialist country and want all the power and not an even playing field. Well, when we have an even playing field, you don't want to talk what things are going to make a change. You just want to waste time, and then that person's time in office is looked at like they didn't do anything. It's because the Republicans voted against them. They couldn't get anything passed. So now we have a chance where Democrats have power and things are going to get passed. And I think you're going to definitely see some things change and be different. I'm not going to say he's going to cure everything for the hood. I'm just saying you actually might get some things actually done and passed. First thing and foremost is going to start with Corona, because that is out of control.
Right.
Oh, don't get me
I really got to know. I really want to know from a black male, what has the Democrats ever promised you that they've done besides lock us up and destroy our families?
That is.
I mean, seriously, what have they ever really done? So why would you believe they can do it now?
What could they have ever done?
Mass
if you don't have any
incarceration, they got
power?
that done, didn't they?
Because every time a
Welfare
Republican's
system, they
in,
broke out, they did that too,
you
right?
have the House with you.
What I'm saying,
So
yeah,
you're
I
able to
understand
pass bills.
However, okay, so you said both could pass bills, right? So whatever's done on the positive got to be weighed out on the negative too, right? So they could get mass incarceration passed, right? What did Republicans pass that did you the same way as what Democrats passed? If that's the case, if that's really the case,
so the mass incarceration, that's only Democrats. No Republicans voted in on that.
That was who created the term super predator. Who created mass incarceration?
I understand everybody puts everything on during the Clinton time. That's fine. But I understand that. What I'm trying to understand is, where is the Republicans who voted in on these bills too? Everybody points out each individual Democrat, the Clintons, Kamala, whoever else was part of those bills. But no one's saying the Republicans.
What happens under your presidency? Who gets credit for it?
Okay.
You're not talking about all the senators and stuff, Mitch McConnell and stuff. You talk about Trump.
Right.
We're not talking about everybody else doing that stuff. We're not talking about all the things Nancy Pelosi did. We talk about Trump gets credit for everything that happened the last 4 years.
Exactly. And Trump had what? He had his boys have his back.
I get
so
that.
Again, I'm saying you're able to pass things.
You got to go the other way. You can't say like, oh, what about the Republicans then? Because the Republicans wasn't president. They wasn't the ones making these laws that
they had Trump in charge.
All right,
they had Trump in
charge. We're gonna get to the next question. The next question the next question is going to be what do you think we should expect out of this Biden presidency as president? I'm going to Bang. Let's start with you. As he's talking about Democrats versus Republicans and what to expect. What should we expect from this Biden presidency?
Well, he said his first and foremost thing would be to take care of the coronavirus.
Let's go to Bang.
Fix the economy.
Jarvis, let's go to Bang first. Go ahead, Bang.
Okay.
Well, look. I think that for one, he gonna undo everything that Trump did. Okay. I think that's gonna be first and foremost, and he's probably still gonna do things to make him look good, in front of the black community, which I don't know if that, I'm not trying to say that he ain't really for the black community, but I just feel like he's gonna do things to to get the black community to be like, all right, we fucks with them, and all that. Another thing, we probably gonna be on a lockdown, a nationwide lockdown. It seems like that's in his back pocket. He probably gonna try to do something with the guns. Probably gonna try to take people guns or AR-15s. I guess is like the main thing that he was saying. I mean, I don't know what he's gonna do as far as the coronavirus. I mean, that's a whole nother story. I don't even want to start with the coronavirus. We need a whole nother few hours. So I ain't gonna even get into that. But those couple of things, yeah, I think that's probably what he's gonna start doing.
Okay. Jarvis, now we're coming to you now with that. What do you think we should expect out of the Biden presidency?
Well, I mean, he said for his platform, the first thing he wants to do is take care of the coronavirus. So that should be the first and foremost. They're trying to pass out as many vaccines as possible and get that out to everybody if it's possible. Seems like all the sports industries are trying to get themselves involved in that to lead by example and be like, that is something safe to take and everybody get vaccinated. Then he said, secondly, that he was going to try and work on fixing the economy and get jobs back and working. So those two things right there on his platform that he's saying he's going to work on. Anything else other than that is just, hey, if it happens, it happens. We definitely should see some definite changes because, again, not any other presidency with a Democrat have they had power that they had like now with taking over the House and being able to run things. So if you're able now to get the bills passed without having someone on the other party trying to delay things and veto, and you have to go through all these other loopholes to get even one thing done, it should run smoother. But we will see how he decides to officially go with things.
Okay.
You getting the vaccine?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Hank Aaron got it, and he's trying to promote it, but I'm good.
Hey.
I'm no test dummy. This ain't the.
I hear that.
Okay. That being said, BK, I need to know from you what do you think we should expect from the Trump president, or not the Trump, the Biden presidency? Yes.
So I think you're gonna see a lot of Obama like things come out of here. I think it's gonna be, you're gonna have, you're gonna get the DACA Act passed. You're gonna have better leadership with coronavirus. You're gonna get a better stimulus to help the economy, get things going and things like that. I always start with the most common denominator is me, right? I'm my own concern. I'm a black male in America. Now, what I do see is you're gonna see a lot of support for black women. Black women are the leaders of our community, much as we want to say we lead or whatnot. Black women found in a household 28% more than any other race, and they are the most educated group of people demographically in the country right now, and improvement. So they're going to start with them, and that's why I keep touching back on where does the black male fall here. So I think, just like Jarvis was saying, this is going to be very, very, very interesting, and it could be detrimental to the Democratic Party if they have the House, they have the Congress, they got a Democratic president, and don't nothing happen for black men. They should never get another black male vote again. That's just real talk. If they don't do nothing for us and help us improve our situation, get us to get on a good standing, and help us be able to grow with our kids and really stop showing black men as bad to the world, I don't see why anybody would vote for them again, because they got everything they need. So they really ain't no excuses to know not to do for us, because we never ever get anything done for us. Period. And like I said, the women are leaders. They make more money than us. They do everything more than us. They run in the household. They got the kids. They working. They educated. They got multiple degrees. Man, it's so bad. It's so bad with how black women are leading us. They starting to think they can't even get good ones of us because they too educated and too far up the food chain. They got things called dating down now. That's how bad it is for black men. So if they don't do right by us, then I don't see why we keep falling into the trap. That's just how I see it.
Wow. Okay, that's saying something right there.
Yeah.
And shout out to the homie Breon. You said what we should expect from Biden as president. I believe some people may begin their presidency with honest intentions to make it good on their word. To be a liar, he's coming in under soil, but it was clear before he decided to run, so he is highly aware of what he's getting into. More broken promises to the black community. The black struggle is by a cold-hearted design and created to hate America, produced and distributed to every country in the world. There's nothing of great. Black people might be as well as we getting used to Obama again. Why? Because the black community is not the wholeheartedly behind Biden and Aunt Kamala. Oh, that's saying a lot there too, Breon. Man, we got a lot to say with this, don't we? The SGB says the prison population first exploded under the Reagan, but the idea of mass incarceration was started by Nixon with the war on drugs.
The laws was created under Democrats and the Clintons.
Okay.
It may have been started back then, but it was created under the Clintons. That was the biggest platform for them to be able to run for, to get the black, to get votes so that they would win the election. So you remember back then with Reagan and those guys was running, they was marking us as super criminals to try to get us to be able to try to sway the vote from one side to the other. One of the biggest reasons back then that we stopped voting even for Republicans was because of the way they labeled. We got the one black dude name back then, but they put him as like the craziest guy ever, and the marketing and the media and the propaganda behind it was so insane that it scared people to vote for the other candidate. It was like, what's that guy running against Bush? God, I can't remember his name. It was one of the president who ran against the first Bush. That was the reason why Bush ended up winning the presidency back then, because of how they were marketing stuff. Yeah, Dukakis. That's how they lost, because they were marketing us as like the craziest people ever. So and that just pushed them to get the presidency away from Bush to be able to incorporate laws that would massively incarcerate us. So yeah, it did start with the drug wars back with Nixon, but it wasn't put in grave and stone until the Clintons. And that's when all you seen the highest increase of us going to prison you've ever seen. If we went to prison so much, it was like back in slave times, how they was capturing slaves. It was horrible. And Clinton didn't even apologize for doing it. So saying somebody else did it and Clinton came out and apologized for him doing it is disingenuous.
Okay, well, we definitely want to hear you guys' comments. So fill up the comment page, and if you agree with what BK's saying, we want to hear about it. You agree with what Jarvis is saying, we definitely want to hear about it. If you want to hear what Breon's saying, we also want to, if you agree with what he's saying, we want to hear and bang as well. So I'm going to move on to the next question here. The next question is, what do you think should be Trump's legacy as U.S. president? I'm going to start with you, Jarvis.
I mean, whatever he did during his term, it's kind of got messed up by his outgoing, because that's what everyone's going to point to. Let alone you're worrying about the election results, and now you're going down as the only president to twice be impeached. That says it all right there. It's how many people have been impeached, and you got twice in one term. or better yet, what killed me was on the Daily Show, him talking about, so now the numbers is, how many times did Trump lose? 201 times. Like, you're beating a dead horse. For what reason?
Okay. Bang, I need to know from you. What do you feel like is going to be Trump's legacy as president?
I mean, it's really a tough one. I guess it really depends on who you asking, because of course, if you don't like Trump, then his legacy is gonna be, pretty bad. His legacy is gonna be, he was racist. He he supported racist groups. He got them all riled up, stormed the Capitol, and all type of crazy shit. And he dismantled a whole lot of policies or whatever throughout his 4 years as presidency. Or you can look at it as like a billionaire. He became wealthy, which a lot of people respected him for, saying his hustle and grind before he decided to run for presidency. And, a guy that's not even a politician became president. So that's, I mean, for him and his family and friends.
That's saying a lot right there.
That's pretty damn good. He ran the country, not even being a politician for 4 years. I mean, whether you feel like he did you probably feel like he did a bad job. He still, he accomplished a lot. He do got a lot of bad shit. I think depending on who you are and how you view him is going to determine your person.
Yeah. Unfortunately, everybody's memory is always short when it comes down in history. That's why so many youngins think that LeBron's the greatest. But that's a whole nother story. But we're gonna go to BK. BK, I need to know from you. What do you feel is gonna be Trump's legacy when it's all said and done?
The retaliation president. It's gonna be when we had a black president and America retaliated. That's what it is. America snapped with Trump. Like, they were hard. Damn. They stormed the Capitol. We had a virus that was wiping people out. Millions of people dying. And they talk about I ain't wearing no mask. They look, retaliation president. They snapped. They were hard. I was trying to think of the words. That's the only thing I come up with. America retaliated. It was bad. They just were like, no, give us the orange guy. We want somebody bad who got a lot of power. Give us a. He talk crazy. Better build a wall. Yes, man. Look, America started separating children from their parents in cages. Retaliation. They said, "Oh, y'all want to put a black man in office? We got y'all. We gonna show y'all who runs stuff." And they came in full force. I mean, you cannot tell me during Trump presidency, it didn't seem like he was promoting white supremacy. He was out there he was trying to do for everybody to keep his votes up. But the dude said a lot of things where you can look back and be like, shit, whole countries, huh? Fine people, huh? He straight up promoted white supremacy. Like, look, let them people go. And then on the last day, he pardoned people who stole from them.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's a retaliation president. He don't care. White people showed their ass. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Hey, you're right, though. You 100. Yep.
Okay. You say what like it is. So, and Breon saying in that the statement about black women outdoing the black men, no disrespect to the black women, but they've been positioned in front of the black community by our common enemies. What the other races can say about women are leading. What does a black man say about black men?
So I think she misunderstanding about what I'm saying. I'm not talking bad about black women. What I'm saying is black women have been positioned to be the only race in the world that leads the male. And I'm not talking about misogyny or anything, but what has that done for the black family? Think about it. I'm not trying to say it's bad. I'm not trying to say bad about what they're doing with the education, but I'm like, look what it done to the black family. In other cultures around the world, and I'm not talking about like I said, it's really hard to explain because you don't want to sound like men are just supposed to run women. Not what I'm saying, but literally, who puts people out the house more, men or women? Women, right?
Right.
Men not usually take them, tell them, get out of my house. That's never happened. go sleep on the couch. If somebody say go sleep on the couch, who's sleeping on the couch? It's always going to be the man that takes the lead because that is kind of the role of the man. So
because
if the
dudes don't
woman,
do
if
that
the only race
though.
in the
That
world where the
don't mean
woman is leading in
that the
everything has that power,
woman
what
that
happens?
the woman is the leader.
Say what? What'd you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Bang man froze up.
Well,
Oh,
basically all I'm saying
Yeah,
is women are leading. I'm
I
not
said
saying it's a bad thing
I
because
said
our
I'm
black
not
women
wishful
are
that way.
killing it. They're doing so much for us and our families and have come through so much along with us, but it causes
They
a
are.
drift between black men and women where black men ain't shit. And that's what you get because of that. You get that all the time. Is that black man ain't shit. You could be a good black man and still not be good enough. You could take care of your kids and still be a deadbeat. And it's because you don't have the same ability that black women are having to be able to provide in the same way they have it. So their standards are way higher because women expect to be leaded by somebody who can provide for them. So if you below them and can't provide for them, you're going to have that. You're going to have some diversification in that. It's not going to be cohesive. It's going to be some problems, and that's what we are experiencing as a black culture.
okay.
What makes
There's
what makes
so
more
much
money
to
than
unpack
Right.
with all of this, and I appreciate all y'all for sharing all your comments. Unfortunately, I ran out of time. I feel like there's just so much to say with this, but we're gonna come back another time, and I'm sure there's gonna be more of this type of conversation at another time. But I want to thank my guests today. I got the homie Bang. Bang, can you let the people know where they can find you?
Yeah, you hit me up on Instagram at bang2real. You can hit me up on my website bang2real.net, BANGTOOREAL. You can holler at me on there.
All right, we appreciate you for coming through, Bang. We know you got more music coming through. Also on the line, we got the homie Jarvis. Jarvis, you let the people know where they can find you, please, sir.
At this point, pretty much just around the way in Madison.
Okay.
I now haven't located anything yet to do. Just getting my footing back here. But I will be popping up at some jobs here or there and trying to get things started. I am on Facebook under my name, Jarvis Ward. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, we thank you for also joining the program, Jarvis. Last but not least, we got the homie BK was on the line. BK, please let the people know where they can find you, sir.
Hey, I'm out. I'm in Denver, Colorado right now. Working for a nice little insurance company out here doing some good data science. I'm working on something for the Black community. Comic books, man, animations coming. Putting a lot of work towards that lately. Trying to really give a perspective of where a lot of things play out in the Black community that a lot of people may not be aware of, and just trying to really get the image out there. And I just want to apologize to bring it on. I'm sorry I didn't. I must have misread what you said because I get it. We definitely was speaking the same language there. But appreciate everybody for listening. That'll be it.
Do you have an online presence that they can reach you at with the
Yeah, I'm trying to keep a low profile online right now. If y'all want to catch me on Instagram, Dr. Brian Kennedy or Brian Kennedy or B Kennedy 2682. Hit me up. Give a shout out. We can chop it up there.
Okay, we appreciate you for coming through to the line as well. And last but not least, bring on one of many who was also on the line. Unfortunately, we did lose his connection, so he's been hitting us up in the chat as well as the rest of you guys all that left your comments. We appreciate you all day. Uh, you know, there's just so much to unpack with the way that the elections went down, and we see the conversations get spicy, because we are all gonna agree on things, and I feel like that's the way America was built. It's built that we all come from different backgrounds and different stuff, but we got to come together and come with some solutions. And that being said, hopefully Biden's the man that's gonna get us there. If not, well, it's gonna be a rough 4 years. But Until next time, y'all, I do appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm your boy Mizza to the Jizzle. You've been listening to Radio 22's Talk 22, the show hosted by me, boy Mizza the Jizzle. Till next time, y'all. Peace.